that was silly, ridiculous, a waste of time. They didn't want. That's why they were so successful. That's why they got away.
Made a living in very dangerous.
This is really an integrated blue together.
Dianne Andrews in black and white.
Thanks for joining us today, whether you're on the CW, on Pelican Broadcasting, and our over 2 million homes in the state of Louisiana and part of Mississippi. This is probably almost my 200th show. And I do have to give a shout out to Tara Renee out of New York. I was just featured in the 23rd annual African American Women in Film Festival in New York City. And Tara Renee is the CEO of that, and my film, Silver Dollar Group of the Klan, which is a documentary on what was going on in Louisiana and Mississippi, over in northeastern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi between Natchez and Faraday. So I thank you, Tara, and I'm also featured in her magazine. You'll see a copy of it on the screen. Pioneer Multicultural Magazine. I'm on the cover of that, and there's an article about all my entrepreneurial adventures, and there have been quite a few. So thank you for tuning in to us today. You can watch us on all the usual suspects, whether you're on, again, the CW, on TV, Pelican Broadcasting, or Truth, or Getter, or Facebook, or Instagram. We have Twitter. We have them all. But today I'm doing a show with two of my favorite people. One just happens to be a liberal Democrat. I won't say that. He's more like a Kennedy Democrat. You don't see those anymore. And my good friend Martha Huckabay. You've seen him on here before. Now, Martha, I've been on her show, Liberty and Lockdowns, for several times. And she's the first time on here. She is a child activist. She's worked with the Louisiana court system. She has 3 children of her own. Her husband, Gary, and she have been married for 20 years. And she also was the president of the Women's Republican Club, the oldest club in the state of Louisiana. And now she's the treasurer. Now, Johnny has been on here before. He's just a YouTube activist, I guess, and he does urban news. But he's a great guy. He was here on the show in December. We had a great time. I'll tell you a little story. When Johnny was first told to talk to me by my good friend Don Mitchell, he said, you need to get on Dianne's show. And he said, I don't want to talk to no crazy conservative. I don't want to talk to her. And so I called him, and he was very rude the first time, but I didn't give up. I called him again, and I said, did you know this? And did you know who did the Jim Crow? Did you know the Klan was the Confederacy? Did you know the 64 Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, which Johnson signed it? That was the first civil rights signed by a Democrat. Ulysses Grant signed the first one, and Eisenhower did too, President General Eisenhower. And the only reason that one got signed was because Eric Dirksen was a minority whip. The majority of the Senate were Democrats. To this day, the longest filibuster in the history of this country was done by the Dixiecrats out of the South against the 64 Civil Rights Bill. So when I gave him all that, and I give him to his credit, he would come back and tell me, Dianne, you were right. He was shocked at what history has portrayed people to be that they're not. So come on back to Dianne Andrews in black and white, and let's debate some of these issues with these two wonderful people. To Dianne Andrews in black and white with, I guess you can realize she's Martha and he's Johnny. So come on, you all. We're going to talk first. Let's talk about some of this is called Emergency, the Decaying of Cities in the Country of the United States. Let's talk about New Orleans, okay? Let's talk about things going on down there. It's in the top 10 most crime-ridden cities in the country. 2020, #1 murder capital of the country. Let's talk about a little what's going on down there. What do you think, Martha? You live in that area.
Well,
You live in
first of
Kenner or
all,
Limerick?
in today's society, I could be Johnny and he could be Martha.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do either one of y'all have pronouns? That's a good point.
Man, don't give. I'm gonna get in trouble. I stay finna get counseled. Don't start today, cause I don't understand all that stuff. I'm kind of old school. I'm set in my ways, and
No problems.
I don't know.
She's just making a joke, really.
And leave that alone, cause we'll start talking about that, and then they'll be mad at us.
Yeah, they'll be ready to
I had to
cancel
go
the
there for a
shows. That's
minute.
right. That's right.
Heterosexual pride,
Everybody
but I
should
ain't
do
hating
what
on
they want to
nobody.
do in their life. I think
Yeah.
transgender should be able to marry if they love each other. And you know why I agree with that?
Yeah.
Is you get their Social Security. Now, I don't believe in mutilating little kids. I don't believe in abortions after 12 weeks. But I'm kind of a conservative. I'm very conservative, but I'm a little more middle of the road than you, Martha. But let's talk about New Orleans. You're right. Let's not
Do
get
what
into this
you want, just don't push it on me and my family.
That's right. And a kid.
Agreed.
And don't do it to a kid.
And don't leave them kids alone.
That's right.
We ain't gonna start that. But look, if a kid finds that on his own, and that's where they going.
Okay, let's start talking about this. Y'all want to talk about this a while? Or
I
what?
don't care.
It doesn't matter to me. New
Yeah.
Orleans crime, it's all, you know.
Yeah, Target has lost $12 billion with their gay pride going on. Look at Bud Light with Devaney. And what's his name? Devaney, right? Delvaney, whatever the guy girl is. You know, he came out the other day and said he really likes whatever it is. He's supposed to be a woman now. He said he's really a man. He starts wanting to go date women now. He said that the other day.
He's really an actor
That's all he
capitalizing
is.
off of,
That's right.
this.
First he's transgender, now he's a boy.
It's
Yeah.
been a sales ploy.
It has been. And
Once
he's
you say,
banking. He's making big money off
But
of it.
but for the company, they've lost billions and billions of dollars. Their shares have gone
If
to
they
the
start
funding.
showing me the right grants and benefits, I'll identify as a white lesbian woman. That still love women, right? So I'm a lesbian and I'm also a white
I don't think
woman.
your wife is going to go for that one.
But we're gonna stay together because I love women. I'm a lesbian.
Hey,
That's what I mean.
okay.
And if I can get a grant or two, or maybe me and my wife can go in the same bathroom, that's the part that gets.
Now your boy did that, Obama. Obama did the
That ain't my
transgender marriage,
boy.
which I didn't have a problem with, but he also did everybody going to the same bathroom.
Excuse me, world. I am a Democrat, right?
Yeah.
And she give me a hard time about it. I am only a Democrat because it's representative of the people that I go out and fight for.
Yeah.
I don't like Democrats.
But maybe you should
Did I
try
say
to
that on
check.
that
Yes,
live?
yes.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't like Democrats. I don't like Republicans that much either. I like good people.
People like Mitch McConnell, I don't care for either. There's a lot of bad Republicans
Well,
out
I
here.
have to agree with you. I'm a
Right.
Republican, and there's many Republicans out there that I completely disagree
Mitch
with.
McConnell is the biggest crook in this country. He's as big as Nancy Pelosi.
They're no different than the Democrats.
But it's more of them.
I actually
But
respect
Martha, when
the
you think,
Democrats
I would
a
say
little
it's
more.
more
I'll tell
of
you
them.
why, though. I respect them more because they say it to your face, so you know what you're dealing with. So you got the.
I disagree with you on that. They
The
put the
Republicans
Jim
do
Crow
things
laws
behind
on
the back.
Martha. They put the Jim Crow laws on Republicans. They put the Klan on
No,
Republicans.
no, that's different. No,
But
Yeah, that's different.
They
That's
lie, but they lie all
different.
the time about who they are. When they say like John Lewis.
Yeah, you're right about that, Diane.
Yeah, they lie all the time
argue
about who they
deceitful
are.
About that, the
Yeah.
Democrats are the party of the KKK. They
That's
are
right.
the party of the Jim Crow. They are, and they are lying about that.
Yeah, and they make you. Before
But
we
my
talked
people
about
don't
it,
know
you
that.
thought it was
Yeah.
Republicans who were the KKK.
Yeah, then I
you
went
thought the
red.
Confederacy. The
Yeah.
Confederacy has never died in a lot of places,
That's correct.
and they're still in the
And
Democratic Party.
You know what?
That's
You know what make me feel a little uneasy is like the South will rise again, right? Rising to what? What is it rising to?
Let me tell you.
We give black people all this hard time about guns and stuff like that.
It's not only giving it to black people.
I've seen our very own coroner, the coroner here, holding a gun for a Civil War reenactment on his profile. You know, the same guy the same coroner that's stealing time.
What's his
He's going
name?
to multiple parishes.
The white guy you talking about?
Bo Clark.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah.
Well, he I wish that I can go clock into one job and then go to another job and get paid both of them at the same time. But I think that's
Thief.
called stealing.
That's thief,
Yeah,
right? That's thief.
stealing.
You're going to
Right,
jail.
right, right.
No, you don't have to worry. You're a
he's
black
not
guy. They'll
going
let you out of jail now.
Who, me?
Yeah, but remember, they
Black
don't keep
guy.
black guys in anymore. Only white people.
That's right.
Wait, hold up. Say that again.
Louisiana's
They
a little
flipped the
different.
script on us.
Yeah.
Wait, black
Free to
guys
go
get-
now.
Black guys don't
Being
go to jail?
woke
Not
means
anymore. They let them out now.
Let me
It's the
tell-
white
Where y'all
guy
getting
thing.
that from?
It's true.
it's true.
Where you getting that stat
Let
from?
me tell you, when
find
I
it
was
out.
making my doggy pillow, Fuji's Totes, which I'm going to be talking about later, you'll see a little commercial on my patented doggy pillow, which I refused China. I tried to go to the work release program, okay? And I went, there's a separate prison called the work release prison. I went and I signed a contract over near East Baton Rouge prison. And I was going to get them. They were $7 an hour because I really wanted this pillow.
Slaves. Slaves.
They're in prison.
They're slaves.
Okay, whatever you want to call it, but they
Involuntary
did
servitude
something
is
wrong.
slavery.
So, okay,
And men used to be
slavitude,
really-
whatever you want to call
We
it.
could be real rich if we had a bunch of people.
They were more like
free.
indentured
Anybody
servants.
can.
Indentured servants. They were getting out. Slaves are forever. They tried to keep them forever. But anyway, so I signed the contract. Then COVID hit. So I refused to start this pillow until I went to Honduras. I went to El Salvador. I couldn't get anybody in America, and I tried everything to get the seamstress. I went to the senior assisted people who are still in good shape. People, nobody wants to sew. Hardly in America anymore is a problem. 2021, nobody wants to work at all.
Yeah.
So I finally found Pakistan, and I'm helping a flooded community over there with the pillow. And I tested it for a year. I was on WhatsApp every day, it's got 12 color palettes, the Saints, LSU.
Yeah.
You saw the palettes on there? Well, we'll hold it up.
Did y'all say black people not going to jail as much as white people?
Hey, look at New York. 80% of the crime is done by 20% of the people. And I hate to tell you, 80% of those people are black. And they're letting them go. Bragg's up there. That's where you're going after Trump for nothing. That he didn't do anything. And illegal. And then you're letting everybody out who's killing people, hurting people on subways. All of that, most of those people do happen to be black.
Well,
And most of them have mental problems.
let me correct that a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You like history, right?
Yes.
The
love it.
first order of police was slave patrol, right? So if you target a group more than you target the other one, of course you're gonna get 80%, right? But the thing about it is,
But they shouldn't get out of jail. We're talking about getting right back out of jail, Johnny.
I don't know, because if we love the Constitution and all that is worth, I'm innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yeah, but
Right.
they're not
And then
booking them to
can
stay
we-
even if they committed murder.
Can we agree on a lot of innocent people in jail as well?
Of course.
absolutely.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So we can't
Absolutely.
push the narrative of people not getting the opportunity to prove their innocence and say, oh, they're letting all the black criminals out, because I know people who
and now they're letting them all out, white
Hold
too.
up. I know
Most of them
people
are
who
black.
committing crime, but they're so white and powerful that they can call the governor. They can call.
That's the white
the
collar
chief of
crimes.
police.
We're
You can
talking about
call
petty
a
crimes.
DA.
Right.
You can call these people and make other people.
That's white
move.
collar though. They ain't out here
It's
robbing
not.
and
No, it's
hitting
not.
nobody over
It's
the
not.
head.
It's not. I know women right now who got rape cases against people in power, and you hear nothing about it on the news. You don't see them.
But she's the innocent one, and he's the victor. He's winning because nobody will take him because somebody picked up the phone. That's going to happen in every race. Don't tell me if Magic Johnson or Blair Underwood or some of these rich people. Let me tell you, I heard this white girl say. She said, they tell me with CRT. They tell me that I am an oppressor. She said my mother was on drugs when she had me. I have been to 10 foster homes, and every foster home I was in, I was raped. So tell me how I'm the oppressor to black people. This was in Virginia, in one of those hearings in Virginia, and I heard her talk. I think at the end of the day, if everybody lived like Martin Luther King said, by the content of your character, not the color of the skin. But our laws don't allow people to live like that. Privilege doesn't allow. When people talk about white privilege, there are plenty of black people with privilege here, as you know.
I don't agree with that.
You don't think Magic Johnson can pick up the phone and call if somebody did something? Bill Cosby, before he went to jail, could pick up the phone and call.
If you match stat for stat, money for
Not
money,
stat for
dollar
stat,
for dollar,
yeah.
if you put a white man with the same problems as Magic Johnson, that white man will prevail over Magic Johnson with the same.
That was just a name. Let's talk about some other rich people. What about BET? Robert Johnson, who sold BET and became a multi-billionaire. What about people like him? You don't think they can pick up the phone because they donate to people?
Too.
Yeah, very powerful. Powerful people are powerful people.
Yeah.
And in your little area where you live, and he's giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to the judges, elections and everything, they become powerful too.
In the neighborhood you stay in, how often you see a roadblock or a traffic stop?
You don't know where I live. You
I'm
been
just saying.
stalking me? Hey,
No, I
you
ain't
been stalking
I just know you ain't in the hood, Diane. I know you're not in the hood.
No,
I
I'm
know
not
you
in
ain't
the
in the
hood.
hood.
No, I'm not in
So
the hood.
when the last time have you seen a checkpoint in your area?
I live in a little subdivision.
When the last time have you seen a checkpoint in your area, Diane?
One time when they were looking for a convict in the area.
Or when they were looking for a criminal? They were there fast, weren't they?
Yeah.
Weren't
I don't know
they?
how fast. Yeah, they were.
I know, they get there fast. Yeah, I know. In your neighborhood.
They don't in yours.
I know somebody who bled out on the ground.
Where is 80% of the crime done?
Where the poorness is.
And that's black and white. Are there more poor white people in this country or black?
Man, I can't speak on the country.
White.
See
in
there
this
we go with
country.
this number thing again, right?
I'm a mathematician.
But this
Numbers
the thing.
tell facts.
I can make stats work per capita wherever I
We're
needed to.
only 13% of
If
population.
I saw in Utah, it was mostly white, right? So if you take those stats and put them with majority of black people, things start
Now
balancing
you
out,
have to
right?
do things by
we
per
talking
capita.
about, okay, where are the white activists at? If there's none of this, where are the white activists? Where are the white
You need to
activists?
answer that one.
No, okay, so when the last time have any black person done something to a white person where you had to go out and protest for it?
When's the last time any black person did something to a white
Black
person
police
that I
kill
had
an
to
innocent
go out and
unarmed white
protest
man.
for?
I want to see something where something happened to a white person and immediate action didn't happen.
I saw where black police killed a white man, and there was
city, what
action
state?
about that. It was in Memphis, I think.
In Memphis?
Yeah, a year or two
Who
ago.
killed who?
The black policeman killed a white guy, which you never hardly see. I did a show with a
You
woman.
say you never hardly see that.
You don't see.
I know you don't.
No,
I'm telling you.
no. Let me finish.
Good.
I had a lady on my show. Her son, white guy. They own a meat packing plant down there. He was driving a BMW, so he wasn't driving a bad car. White guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was going down I-10 to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
His car skidded. He sat in the car while they called, the police to come in. They tried to get him out, but he had hit his head. He was bleeding. And when he got out, he had a fanny pack, black, on his person here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They asked him to lift his hands, and he lifted that, and it was dust dark by then. They shot him to death. He died in the hospital a few minutes later.
It's horrible.
There are a lot of white boys. You don't see much on that when they kill white. But I've done shows with mothers, black mothers whose sons have been killed by black people that were never solved. And they say their friends know who killed them, but they won't tell it. Tell me about the snitching in the hood to get to the real criminal.
Now look, y'all gonna disagree with me on this. I don't believe in snitching.
Well, okay, if your friend killed your brother and somebody saw him, but he won't tell it, and it's another black person, you're not gonna be mad with that guy that wouldn't snitch? I don't call it snitching. I just say tell the truth.
This is something that y'all may never understand about me, and don't hold it to me.
I'm talking about most
But
blacks.
I come up in the hood, right? So I was taught I would never help the police put anybody in.
Even if they committed murder.
I'm gonna tell you
What if
something.
they killed your brother, the example I just said?
Vengeance is in the hands of the Lord. What we gonna do?
But you might be the vessel for the Lord
I'm
in
not
that
saying,
moment.
I won't help.
You won't be doing the Lord's work.
I
if
like
you
to
chose
see
not
sex
say anything.
offenders go to jail.
Yeah.
I like to see people who prey on old people go to jail. I like to see thieves go to jail because people got to work hard for this stuff.
That's
I
right.
don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is,
But you can see them robbing and you're not gonna tell it.
populate a slave camp. Angola is a plantation. It's a plantation,
Yeah.
right?
That's
It's got
true.
more export than import. If you give me 1,000 people that's gonna work for me for free, I will thrive. If you steal land and give it to me, or if I just go steal your land, if they do like they did in Tulsa and just burn the whole thing down once
Yeah.
people get it established, of course it'll be ahead and above. You know what I'm saying?
I want to talk
Give
about
that
the illegal
ecosystem.
immigrants.
Okay.
Okay, we've had 5 million come in this country in 2 years since Sleep at the Wheel been president, because he ain't running nothing. We know he has the capability. And Kamala is calamity, okay? So,
About illegitimate Joe?
yeah, illegitimate Joe and Calamity Jane. So, and they're going to continue. Trump said by the end of Joe Biden's, he knows what the numbers are. He said they want 30 million in the next 2 years to come in here. And it looks right because they're coming like that. They're paying $7,000 a month right now today. But to house and feed and educate them. They're pulling veterans out of some of their housing. Have y'all seen that? We're going to show that on the screen.
I'm tired of what they do to veterans, man.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I love the veterans.
You got
I love
one day
police.
Memorial Day holiday, right?
Yeah,
And then you got a gay
30
pride
days,
month.
Pride
Right.
month.
You got
Right.
all kind of months.
And
Everybody
all
get a
them
month.
losing money, they still doing. But you know why? Is the market bigger in China with 1.5 billion people, or bigger in America with 340 million
I
probably
want
by
to mind
now?
our business and leave China alone. China look like that's a good fight. I don't even want.
China is our fight. If we want
that's the
freedom,
real
we're talking
enemy. That's
China.
the real enemy. I
Yeah.
think we just ought to mind our business and protect ourselves.
But Joe Biden doesn't want. He's in bed with China.
We need to
Do
get
you
out
think
that
Trump would have let a
hospital.
balloon fly across this
Nah,
country, a spy balloon?
y'all-
You saw that, right?
Y'all explain to me why y'all care about illegal immigrants. Because I don't care today, but I know y'all gonna give me some
I do
reasons.
care. Did you
I don't
hear
give
what
a
they're
crap.
spending on them? We had
Yeah,
5
I'll
million
tell
at
you why I care.
$7,000 a month. They're pulling veterans out of their places.
And they're taking the place of our Americans being able to have those particular jobs. They're taking our tax dollar, our money, and sending it home without paying taxes. We have to pay taxes. Our Americans aren't able to get those jobs because they're getting the jobs.
Well, I will tell you this, a lot of Americans don't want those jobs.
Every job I seen Mexicans with, I ain't really want.
To me, it's not so much about the job, it's the fact. Let me tell you, I interviewed a guy who came over here. He told me they hate America. A Cuban, you need to go watch the show. It's out there on my Rumble and YouTube. I brought him in from Miami. He was with Trump, remain in Mexico, because this is supposed to be an asylum seeking place, right? You can only come, not because you broke. We can go to the hood and get millions of people. And we just want to give them $7,000 a month. And a woman in Chicago said that the other day. She told, they were coming into the South Side, the illegals. She said, what about us? A black woman. She said, why are you giving them something of what you were saying, giving them all this and we're not getting it?
They're breaking our system.
They hate America.
Because we can't,
they hate America.
Load. We
Yeah.
can't handle
5 million
Talking
people
about
in 2
5
months,
million
2 years.
on our
You can't handle
system.
it.
We can't handle the
That's
load.
bigger than the state of Louisiana. We're only 4.6 million. You got the people coming in the size of states every couple of months.
Yeah.
You can't handle it.
Running from gang.
No, they ain't running from no gang. These people
Some
are
of them
running.
running from gang.
But let me tell you what the guy said who was on asylum under Trump, because Trump had to remain in Mexico where they really checked you out. He was there 2 years and he got in this country. We let 1 million people in here legally every year, more than any country in the world. You are not going to go to Mexico or Canada without a passport. And if you want to go live there, they look at, okay, what skill do you have? And that's the way you keep a company great.
You can't be a felon and go to Canada, can
No,
you?
you can't. Tell me why we want people that don't uplift our country. Why are we going down to them? And they don't even speak our languages. They stay in their own little pockets and speak with their language.
Let me say something.
They're going to kill this country.
Let me say something. My
Okay.
mother's from Guatemala, okay? I'm adopted she adopted me. I was born here at Charity Hospital.
Straight up.
I was conceived from a woman who is a lesbian, and my father is the person who raped her, allegedly. And I was sent to Central America. I lived there for 5 years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's my first speaking language. I actually am bilingual. I speak Spanish fluently.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I have, what is it they say? I have a dog in this fight?
Yes.
Because I was raised in Guatemala, and I know the culture, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I speak Spanish pretty fluently, and with an accent, by the way.
Yeah.
So I respect the Hispanic culture
Yeah, me too.
from my core.
I love people.
My mom is Guatemalan. I love her. She adopted me and gave me a blessed life.
That's your adopted
My
mother?
adopted mother is from Guatemala. She came here legally in her 20s. She came here and she worked hard, and she put me through private school, St. Rita on Fountainville Drive, Ursuline Academy, then, Bob.
Yeah.
She worked hard to provide for 4 kids. It's how they're coming here.
Yes.
And it's the fact that they're taking the money, not paying taxes, they're getting paid cash, and they're going under the table and sending it back to their family.
They're not using
They're
it in America.
Our money, breaking our system, and then they're being required to vote Democrat. So
They give them a phone to keep up with them. And
So they turned it political, and now they're using it as a number
That's
game.
right.
It's a numbers
For
game.
vote.
So
That's
vote.
right.
I don't like that part.
Johnny, just like we stayed in this country, our
Please
forefathers,
educate me.
and fought for freedom, stay in your own country and fight. They don't want, let me tell you what the Cuban told me. He was there 2 years. They tried to kill him in Cuba. He was a freedom fighter, so he got in on asylum. But he said, everybody over there is figuring, how do I get money in America? And like you say, to send it back. Who can I rob in America? How much drugs can I? Because they're not going to put him in jail.
They sound American. American do that every day.
Yeah, but we don't need more of them.
Nah, we don't need no more. I swear. Y'all getting me. Y'all getting me. I like Trump. I don't have a problem with Trump. The only thing I don't like about Trump is when he said he was going to give the death sentence to drug dealers, and the Sackler family is alive.
Right, that was stupid.
The Sackler family, who the white rich family who started the opiate crisis
Right.
named the Sackler family.
That's right.
Right?
They own
made
Oxycontin. They made
OCA,
yes, right. I know.
And they told them it wasn't addictive, and now the whole world is
Lying.
on opiates, and the
Lying.
American people
But
are
the pharmaceutical
Yeah, well,
company is
and they're
corrupt
not in
here.
jail,
The
and not-
pharmaceutical companies,
Well,
all
think
of them,
about
not
it.
just
Look at
them.
your news. You never seen the Sackler family. Somebody had to do a documentary to tell this story, but all you see on the day is black people getting arrested for selling.
No, I saw the
fentanyl.
Saddle family when they had to go to court. They took them to
Yeah, a
court.
lawsuit.
the man's not
Imagine
perfect
if I
at
could
all.
sell
That's for
drugs
sure.
and just pay a
Who they
lawsuit.
ought to take to court is the COVID, all the people with the COVID vaccine, Pfizer.
that's bad, too.
That created so many
And Dr.
billionaires.
Fauci need to go to
And
jail.
That's right. Now tell me what you said about Obama on break.
I don't care about
I wanna
Trump.
get this
I don't
one. What
like
do you
what-
like?
I don't like when
Why didn't you like Obama?
I don't like what Obama did to
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi.
That's right. People
That
don't know
was a
that.
thriving
That's
country.
right. And let me
And
tell you.
America ain't nothing but a bully and a thief.
That he did.
The
He
whole
had-
of America.
You
We-
know they
we
had
built
nuclear
on
power. You know they had
thievery.
nuclear power. He had
Yeah.
Gaddafi disarm his nuclear and he told we gonna take care of it. That was a fool there. I don't know why
Yeah,
Gaddafi
I don't
did
like
that.
that part.
And Gaddafi disarmed his nuclear race. He was trying to unite the European of the African dollar into $1. They wanted him dead. And he said, Gaddafi said, I heard it in his language, but you could, they had the translation. He said, Obama is trying to kill me. He said it out of his own mouth.
Yeah.
Obama killed
Obama
Gaddafi.
even said he regretted doing that.
I never heard him say he did.
I saw it after when we did one of them study rounds with you.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
legitimate
crazy.
question. Why do black people vote Democrat even when, well, they should know this, but if they look for it, they can find it. If they find
She don't
out
like this answer.
that Joe Biden is best friends with Mr. Byrd, who
Right.
is a former who's
The
KKK
racist, right. The
And
senator,
they
Senator
know
Byrd.
they know as a senator, I mean, many things he voted was against the black community. But why
So
does
did
the black
Biden.
community still vote for a Democrat when he's a racist?
She gonna love this answer, and this is the complete truth, right? Them people don't know what you're talking about.
They don't know this.
Black people don't have a clue what's going on, and Democrats lie better.
And Martha,
Democrats
that
put
was
on-
about 30 years
Let
ago.
me tell
He's
you
been
something.
dead for like 10 years.
Y'all can do
I
that
know,
Democrat
but it's still
Republican
there.
thing.
You can
But
still see it.
but
Y'all
they're not
can
gonna
do
look
that.
for
Isn't
it,
the comment that
Martha.
Joe
They're
Biden
not gonna
made-
look for
the
it.
comment that Joe Biden made not
Now,
that
last
long
year,
ago
that was the one they
you
should
ain't
know.
black enough if you don't vote for
Watch
me.
this.
I
No.
mean, the man is as racist.
And he
as-
said all
let me
black
break
people
this down.
vote in a block.
Let me break
That's
this
what
down.
they should
Let
know.
me break this down. Okay, you a child of God. I love you. You a child of God. I love you. Black people are not informed enough.
No.
Democrats put on the same. Democrats and Republicans is just the same devil with a different suit on. This is what the
Some
Democrats
of 'em.
say. I'm for the poor. I'm gonna bring the poor. I'm gonna do this for the poor.
And then-
the poor people like, I'm poor, so that's why I fit in there.
Right.
But these Democrats,
Republicans don't
destroy-
say that
Democrats bleed the swamp. They drain
Well, okay.
all the money out.
What about
I
right
like
now,
about
Johnny?
Republicans trying to duck taxes and get their money up so much, money trickle down.
What about what Trump did? He had opportunity zones right down from here. Okay, I may not live in the hood, but that's kind of close to the hood building.
All I know is
Ain't
I
close
ate
to
better when
downtown.
Trump was in office. My money flowed better.
$1.50
That's what people
for
have to begin to
gas.
understand. It's policy and not character.
Because
Policy.
he
I don't
created
care about
more
the character.
jobs.
I care about the policy.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's what you
And
want
we know-
policy.
we know
was
he know
doing
money.
great
That's
under
right.
Trump.
Yeah.
And as soon as Biden got in, we got Biden inflation, gas
But
lines,
well, you know
everything
why,
up.
Martha. You
And
know what
Biden
happened?
been bringing
Yeah, let me
more
tell
money
you
to
why
Pakistan,
though.
but
The first
Palestinians-
day,
No,
first day,
Ukraine, yeah.
Ukraine.
We need
The
help.
first day, $150 billion in a year. But the first day of Biden, he signed 10 executive orders. He bought them in there, put them on the desk, and signed them right in front of everybody. And one of them was closing the oil on government property. He can stop all drilling, which is 33% of our oil comes off government, AMWA, out there in Alaska and all of that.
He
Those are
admitted
government.
He blew up the pipeline.
That's right.
He admitted it.
But when in one day, when you cut a third of our oil, that's why it started going up the same day he was in office.